Pickford, I have to mention this. I mean, he didn't have any particularly big saves to make or whatever. But I did notice that, again, his kicking, I think there were at least 3 different clearances where he either shanked it or sent it straight out. Is that just nerves? I mean, I don't expect him to be Ter Stegen.
Yeah.
But
he's got an incredible power in his left foot, but no accuracy whatsoever. He doesn't know, he can't play from the back. Technically, he's not good.
Yeah, I guess it's not necessarily a big deal if he plays it safe all the time. It just he gave off the impression when he did that as somebody who, maybe was more mental than technical.
But you know what fascinates me, just slightly quickly on this debate. Left-footed players are usually more gifted technically than right-footed. Yeah, all of them. Okay, you've got some that maybe are not, but usually when you're left-footed, you are technically more adept than right-footers, right? And
I'm not 100% sure that's actually, because intuitively I would assume that would not be the case, because if you're right-footed, you face more competition, right? So there's I think 80% of the population is right-footed, let's say, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
So if we're on a team and let's say you and the producer Graham there's a spot for the left wing position and you're left-footed, you're going to get it.
Yeah.
Even if Graham is more gifted and Graham has to go and play on the right against producer Freddie, who of course is much more technically gifted, right?
But there's something about left-footers, in the way they I think technically there is. But yeah, for goalkeepers like Lloris or Pickford, they're terrible with the ball. At their foot, I don't understand it.
Like I think as long as he doesn't have to play out the back, but it was just the clearances.
I'm with you. I thought the same.
It's very deflating when it happens, but whatever. I don't think that's a big deal. I thought Stones and Mings did okay, but I think they will be better when Maguire is back.
There was your usual Stones mistake with England, though, that cleared the ball straight out to Kramaric, who volleyed it wide.
I thought Kyle Walker at right back and obviously the other big one was we played Trippier as a right-footed left back, which he's done very little. Again, I thought that was odd. I don't know if it's not clear how fit Chilwell is. I wonder if you're Luke Shaw and you're saying, well, this guy's ahead of me. Presumably it's so that Trippier, because of his delivery on set pieces.
And experience, I think. This is the first game of the Euros at Wembley. I think you go for experience. Again, against a team like that, who is full of experience, I think you go with it. I think it was a mistake. I would not have played Trippier there.
You would have played Luke Shaw.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And again, it goes with what kind of football you want to play. And maybe this game was not for attacking fullbacks. And in the end, Walker had almost 0 deliveries. Trippier didn't bring anything forward. So maybe the idea was, and the game plan was like, let's not do anything crazy. Let's not just go gun blazing. And Luke Shaw is so good going forward that you don't play him for that, plus the experience of Trippier. But it was weird.
That is a good point. I thought there was very little from both fullbacks.
So I think it must have been
that might have just been the way the game unfolded. I do think we have to praise Declan Rice in front of the back four in the sense that he did what he was there to do. But obviously Calvin Phillips is the guy who. It's a neat story in the sense that if these Euros had been played when they were supposed to be played, he would have still been in the championship with Leeds, and I think it's safe to say he would not be playing for England. There's a different role because for Leeds, when we've seen them in the Premier League, it's a different role in some ways in the sense that they're so attacking, they got so much movement in front of them, but obviously he plays further back.
Yeah, he's the holding.
Here, it was very much a 4-1-4-1 in this situation.
Yeah.
And I think that was also because Mount spent a lot of time tracking Modric, and so you needed somebody to press Brozovic.
Yeah, and make those runs forward too, which he did.
Yeah. And obviously that led to the goal and everything. So I think we do need to praise Southgate there.
Yeah.
Foden starting, I have to say, I have to tip my hat. Foden should start. I don't think there's any debate there.
Not at all. If Guardiola is a shoe size below than what he is now, he doesn't just even touch the ball, and I think he goes in from the post inside the goal and they score. But I expect more from Foden than what I saw yesterday, 100%, and from Mount as well. And even if Mount's instructions were clearly look out for Modric when we lose the ball, make sure, and because Man is so disciplined, I still think that with the ball, I would have liked to see more of those passes like the one for Sterling, more from Mount in the last 30 yards than what we saw on the game.
Maybe I got caught up in the excitement of Wembley. I thought they were generally okay. I don't have a problem if you send Mount out there and say, like, Mason, you're playing in this position, but we're going to need you. The most important part of your job is going to be off the ball. I'm okay with it.
That's fair enough. If this is, but if I ask you, what did Foden do in the second half? Tell me one thing that Foden did in the second half.
He was a decoy. I think effectively, yeah.
Yeah,
but again, there you get into the 5 substitutes, the fact that he does have a lot of options in that position. Yeah. I think Southgate, or I think all managers, to come around the idea that maybe the way to do it when I have so many options is I give you 45 minutes of total 100% Foden energy. Yeah, and then I bring on a fresh guy for the second 45.
Yeah. And I think psychologically, he was his first ever Euros game, of course.
And he's still
he never played the ball. He's still young. And that's why I would have brought Grealish on, even for 2 minutes, even at the end when
just to get the applause.
Yeah, and just get you've done it now. You've played in the Euros before, and I think you take a lot of the pressure away from whenever he's going to play more, if he does play more at some point.
Harry Kane. Part of me feels that he had a quiet game. Obviously, certainly in terms of chances, unless I'm forgetting something, but the one at the far post when he nearly injured himself, I don't think he contributed much there. He did have Kaletakar and Domagoj Vida. Those guys don't mess around.
No.
I thought he kind of sacrificed himself in a more physical thing. A couple times he went off he came back, not as often as he does for Spurs, to receive the ball.
No, he didn't drop as much.
I don't have a problem. Yeah, I don't have a problem with him just tying up the central defenders and leaving it to others to make the runs. I don't. And you're making a face because you expect more from Harry Kane.
He's not Weghorst or he's Harry Kane. He's not there to get to just keep busy the 2 centre backs from the opposition team and I guess free the space for Raheem Sterling, which he did on the goal. It's Harry Kane. He will score you 2 goals with 1 chance. Give him the ball. Feed him. You know that I like feed the beast and he will score. If you don't feed Harry Kane, he's never going to score. And I can't believe you've got such an amazing striker in your team and there's not more.
He's not the focus.
Exactly. Or patterns of play to serve him and to feed him the ball and to create stuff for him. There's no crosses yesterday. Nothing coming into the box apart from the one that he misses in a way and hurt his shoulder. Nothing.
I think it's because if you make Harry Kane the focus, well, first of all, I think Southgate to some degree feels that he's got a lot of other talent in attacking positions as well, other than Kane. If you make Kane the focus, the problem is, should something happen to Kane, Calvert-Lewin has, I think, very different characteristics to Harry Kane. And I think he's very and so does Rashford. Should Rashford be the alternative up front? So I think he's very mindful of that, maybe too mindful. The 3 points are important. I don't expect Harry Kane to go and score a goal every game when playing for England. I just think it's a different role that he has there. And for me, he got the job done.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.